Have you ever felt like your body was still here, but some quiet part of you had stopped showing up? Not in a dramatic way, not with pain, not with panic, just a silence. Your breath doesn't go as deep. Your joy feels quieter than it used. And your energy, not gone, just thin, and you tell yourself, maybe this is just getting older, because they say aging means slowing down, that your spark fades, that your body stiffens, that your energy drifts, and maybe it's just time to accept that. But what if they were wrong? What if what you've been feeling, the fatigue, the fog, the sense that you're no longer quite you, has nothing to do with your age? What if your body isn't shutting down, it's shutting you out? Not because it's broken, but because it doesn't feel safe yet, because the truth is, your body doesn't need a battle plan. It needs something it may not have felt in years: safety, softness, the quiet knowing that it's okay to let go, just a little. Healing doesn't start with pushing harder. It begins with something far more tender, a return to presence, to breath, to the part of you that's still alive under all the holding back, the kind of return that begins with a whisper. You don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to brace. You don't have to carry it all alone. Maybe no one's ever said those words to you before. Maybe no one showed you how to soften without falling apart. But I'd like to. Hello, I'm Dr. Laura, and I'm not here to give you a fix. I'm not here with steps or strategies. I'm here with something quieter, something more honest, a way home. Because maybe the spark you've been missing didn't disappear. Maybe it just went still. Maybe it's been waiting, not for performance, not for pressure, but for permission. Because when you begin choosing gentleness over pressure, presence over performance, even that can feel unfamiliar. Someone asked me recently, if I'm doing this for health, for life, is it a sin? And maybe you've wondered the same. Is it selfish to slow down? Is it weak to want softness? Is it wrong to choose yourself when you've been taught to carry everything else? I can't answer that for you, but I can tell you this. If what you're doing comes from love for your body, love for your breath, love for the life still unfolding inside you, it is not a sin, it is not selfish, it is not wrong, it is an act of life. And I believe life honors love. Have you ever noticed how your body feels at 2 a.m.? Not with drama, not with loud alarms, just a silent heaviness, a stillness that doesn't soothe but presses, like something in you is holding its breath. You lie there, eyes open in the dark, not frightened, not restless, just unable to let go. Your chest feels tight, but there's no pain. Your jaw clenched, though you didn't mean to. Your hands curled slightly, even in sleep. You think maybe it's age. Maybe your mind is just busy. Maybe your body is just slowing down. But what if it's not slowing? What if it's bracing? What if, even in the quiet, your body still isn't sure it's allowed to rest? See, there's a question your nervous system has been asking for years, not out loud, not consciously, but in the tension behind your ribs, in the way your shoulders never really fall, in the way you exhale. But don't soften. The question is this: am I safe? And when your body doesn't know the answer, it waits, it holds, it guards, not because there's danger right now, but because once, maybe many times, there was emotional chaos, loss that never got named, expectations that were too heavy, grief you couldn't show, moments when you were told, be strong, when all you needed was someone to say you can let go now. So your body learned to carry everything in silence, to tighten without being told, to stay alert even in sleep. And that tension, that bracing, it didn't go away with time. It just went quiet until now. Maybe you're starting to notice it, the fatigue that doesn't lift with sleep, the breath that never quite reaches your belly, the way joy feels muted, the way touch, even your own, feels unfamiliar. It's not because you've gotten older. It's because your body has been holding back for a very long time. Holding back tears, holding in breath, holding together a version of you that was always trying to be okay. But now, maybe you're ready for something else. Maybe you're ready to send your body a different message, not with words, but with presence, to say, you don't have to protect me anymore. You're allowed to feel safe now. You can rest. You can breathe. I'm not going anywhere, because healing doesn't begin when the pain disappears. It begins when the guard softens, when the fight in your breath turns into a sigh. So what happens when your body finally feels safe? Not just momentarily relaxed, not just distracted by television or tired enough to sleep, but truly, deeply safe. Something extraordinary begins to unfold, and it doesn't start with fireworks. It starts with breath, because there's a delicate thread inside you, a slender living cord called the vagus nerve. It begins in your brainstem and travels down through your face, your throat, your chest, your lungs, your gut. It's not just part of your nervous system, it is your safety system. It listens. All day long, it listens for signs that the world around you and inside you is safe enough to soften. It's the one asking that quiet question, are we okay yet? And when the answer is yes, not because of what you say, but because of how you breathe, how you sit, how gently you hold yourself, your body responds, not with a performance, not with instant energy, but with surrender. Your heart rate steadies, your breathing slows, your stomach begins to digest with ease, your immune system, long on pause, wakes up like it's stretching after a long sleep. Your memory starts to return. You feel clearer, warmer, like the fog that once lived behind your eyes is lifting. And this isn't magic, it's biology. Because when the vagus nerve hears safety, it sends a signal to every system in your body. We don't need to brace anymore. We can begin again. This is why emotional presence isn't just comforting, it's healing. This is why a warm hand on your chest, a slow breath, a single moment of softness can do more for your nervous system than a dozen supplements. It's not that your spark was extinguished, it's that your nervous system hasn't exhaled in years. And when it finally does, when you allow it, gently, breath by breath, your body doesn't just relax, it remembers. It remembers how to sleep, how to trust, how to feel warmth in the belly again, how to crave laughter, how to come alive without needing a reason. So the next time you find yourself lying awake or wondering why your energy feels thin or feeling guilty for how long it's been since you felt truly present in your own skin, try this instead of judgment. Maybe my body just needed someone to stay, not to fix it, not to force it, just to be there, with breath, with patience, with love. Because when your body believes it is safe, it begins to heal itself. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need a perfect morning routine. You don't need a list of goals. You don't even need motivation. You need moments, small, quiet moments that tell your body the truth. It's been waiting to hear for years. You're safe now. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to be here. Because healing doesn't come in grand gestures. It arrives quietly, through ritual. And by ritual, I don't mean anything spiritual or fancy. I mean something sacred. Because it's yours. Something you can return to, not because you have to, but because it brings you back to yourself. Let me show you what I mean. Start with something simple, something warm. Run a bath. Not because your muscles are sore, but because your skin misses being held. Let the warm water press against you like a soft embrace. Don't rush. Don't scrub. Just sit. Let your body exhale into the heat. Let your jaw loosen. Let your eyes close. If this speaks to you, let it become more than an occasional comfort. Choose one evening a week, not for self-care, but for stillness. Light one candle. No phone. No expectations. Let that be your invitation. Back to presence. Over time, your body will start to anticipate this moment, like coming home. And when you step out of the water, consider this. What would it feel like to reconnect not just in stillness, but in standing? Step barefoot onto the earth, the porch, the grass, the floor. Stand still, feel the ground. Let your weight shift from heel to toe. You don't need to do anything, just notice. The earth holds you, whether you're busy or broken or somewhere in between. To make this a part of your day, you don't need to change your life. Just anchor it to something already in motion. Your morning coffee, letting the dog out, walking to the mailbox. Even 60 seconds a day can rewire your nervous system to feel connected again. Small acts done consistently create deep change. And while your feet remind you where you are, your breath reminds you who you are. Breathe and hum, not the rushed kind of breath you take on the go, but a breath that takes its time. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6, and on that exhale, hum just a little. That sound, that vibration in your chest, it's not silly, it's medicine. It tells your nervous system, we're safe now. This can be your quiet reset. Right before bed, or the moment you wake up, let breath be the first gift you give yourself, before the world rushes in, before the emails, before the headlines. Just breath, because you're here. And if you want to take it one step deeper, try meeting yourself, look in the mirror, and stay, not to judge, not to check, just to see. Say your name, say it gently, say it like someone who's just come home. Keep a small reminder there, just for you. A note that reads, "Stay with me." Each time you pause, say your name, write one sentence. I showed up. I stayed. I was kind to myself today. And over time, these moments become more than practice. They become memory. They become identity. They become healing. And you wouldn't be the first to feel something stir after hearing this. Sometimes it only takes one breath, one pause, one quiet moment of presence to begin again. Let me tell you about Ernesto. He's 75, widowed, a retired teacher. He used to explain poetry to teenagers, but stopped reading it himself years ago. Since his wife passed, he's lived quietly. He still cooked, but only toast, still walked, but only to the mailbox, still spoke, but mostly to the dog. He didn't feel broken, just blank, like a once bright photograph that had faded in the sun. Then one night he watched one of our conversations, and something stirred. Not a fire, not a revelation, just a flicker, a quiet sense that maybe he didn't have to stay so distant from himself. He didn't rush out to buy a journal, didn't book a retreat. He simply walked to the nightstand, picked up the photo of his wife, and held it. Not like a goodbye, but like a beginning. He placed it in his lap, rested his hand on the glass, and breathed. Slowly, deeply. He told me later, I thought I needed someone to hold me, but maybe I just needed to hold myself. The next day he made oatmeal. A few days later, he found himself walking past the mailbox, then to the corner, then around the block. He started humming again, not to perform, just because it felt good in his chest. He caught himself smiling while folding laundry, and one morning in the mirror, he didn't look away. He said his own name out loud, and then he laughed. It wasn't a performance. It was a return. Because the spark didn't come back like a fire. It came back like breath, like warmth in the fingertips, like memory in motion. It came back as a flicker, and Ernesto chose to shelter it, to sit with it, to feed it, gently, to not demand more, just to be with what was there. That's what healing looks like, not always dramatic, not always immediate, but honest and alive. Before we say goodbye, I want to invite you into a moment that's just for you. Close your eyes, if it feels safe. Place one hand on your heart. Let the other rest gently on your belly. Feel the rise, the fall, the rhythm of a life. Still present, take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it gently for a moment, and now exhale slowly through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Let your breath be the only place you gently focus. Now say this to yourself, quietly or out loud. I am worth staying for. Say it again. Slower this time. Not because you believe it yet, but because part of you wants to. And that wanting, that's your spark. Still here. Still flickering. Still yours. So if tonight you choose one ritual, a warm bath, a barefoot moment, one kind word to your reflection, do it not as a task, but as a reunion. Let it be proof that your body is not something you're fighting against. It's something you're learning how to love again. And if this message moved something in you, if it gave breath to a part of you that had gone quiet, say it in the comments below. My spark is returning. Not just for you, but for the man silently scrolling who needs to see someone else say it first, so he knows he's not the only one, because you're not. You're here, becoming, learning how to live again, not from performance, but from presence. And the best part, you're just getting started.